After grabbing an egg and cheese breakfast sandwich at a corner deli, Declan reclined back in his driver's seat, watching Lake Champlain through the windshield. Across the big lake, mist was lofting from New York's Adirondack Mountains, the rising sun behind him illuminating the beautiful landscape. Beast was parked down at the waterfront, not far from the Echo Museum, in a mostly empty lot that would be jammed full of cars in another couple of hours. In his pocket, his seldom-used phone suddenly buzzed. Both his earpiece and Beast's radio stayed silent, so he knew instantly the identity of the texter. He pulled it out and looked at the screen. A text waited for his response. "Hey, how did the tidying go?" He wrote back, "It may have been something of a setup." "What way?" "It was called in to the police while I was parked on the street. Likely Beast's description will be in the hands of the law by now." "Cover?" "Called my deputy, had a bad dream, a feeling, then placed a call to Chris. I'm covered." "Stay away from this thing, Warlock. Don't make me come down there and set you straight." "Oh, but I would like nothing more but to have you here setting me straight. How is Maine?" "Pervy boy, Maine is fine. Devaney is wrapping up his affairs, and then we will accompany him to Burlington. We plan to leave sometime today. Be there by late afternoon or so." "Good. Miss you." "You better if you know what's good for you." "Ha, I miss you too. Are you in class?" He looked at the time at the top of his phone screen and sighed. "No, but heading there now. Drive safe." "As if a car accident could really hurt me, but I will. Behave, witch boy, till I get there to watch your back. Even you would take time to heal, and while you were laid up, you would be at my mercy. Dreams, wizard, they're good to have, but you have to keep your eye on reality or it will bite you in the ass. And so will I. Chomp chomp. Bye. Bye, back at ya." "All right, Beastie, my boy, let's get cracking," he said out loud, still smiling from the exchange. The car started itself, but the young man did the driving. Spirits buoyed by Stacya's texts, Declan headed up the hill to the big university that sat atop it, overlooking the lake. He found parking in a faculty lot, his all-campus parking pass, one of the perks of having the Demidova Corporation sponsor his unusual education. 5 minutes after that, he was settling into what was, at least for him, a fairly new class. He found a seat in the back, breaking out a standard notebook and pencil rather than the more common laptop or tablet technique his peers had mostly adopted. The professor wasn't in the room yet, and he took a look at his classmates. This was only his second time auditing Rural Community and Modern Society, which was a community development, applied economics department course, a class his advisor, Professor McCracken, suggested he take to help round out his extremely eclectic curriculum. He didn't really take any classes, at least not in the usual sense. His schedule was subject to vast changes depending upon his extreme need for as broad an education as possible. Of course, not finishing coursework or taking tests, not to mention suddenly inserting into a class partway through the semester, was a guaranteed route to pissing off professors. But Professor McCracken, backed by the full weight of the university's administration, had proven adept at smoothing the way, for the most part. "How are you just now joining this class?" a voice asked. He looked up to find a pair of girls 1 row in front of him, frowns on both their faces. "I'm auditing it." "He audits all his classes, doesn't have to finish any of them," a male voice said from 2 spots to his right, almost behind the girls. A bookish-looking guy was involving himself, a peevish look on his face. "Do I know you?" Declan asked. "You audited one of my poli-sci classes," the kid said, shooting a glance at the girls. They were attractive, Declan realized. Great, a nosy Ned trying to impress the ladies. "How are you expecting to graduate if you only audit? And how the hell did you get permission to do that anyway?" the first girl asked, frowning at him. For some reason, she was annoyed with him, or more likely annoyed or frustrated with something else and taking it out on him. "Not going to graduate," he said with a sigh. "Here we go." "What?" she asked, too shocked to press further. He gave her a shrug and opened his notebook, busying himself with dating the top of the page and writing the class name next to it.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.